everyone. So today we are going to talk about a particular topic that some people might find thorny, some people might find difficult, some people might not be comfortable with. It's not really something serious, but sadly, the way the Nigerian space is, the political space, governance space is just that when people love a particular person, and if that person does something, and some people say that, oh, that thing that you've done, can you take a look at it? It might not really be, then you see that they have this sort of like need to defend that person. Anyway, I'm talking about the stadium that the Abia state government is talking about building. And this is my opinion about it. Is stadium a priority? Is that the priority? Stadium? Really? There've been a lot of people who said that, oh, stadium, we develop sport and all of that. So this is all we do most of the time. We put the cart before the horse. Also, somebody is going to walk all the way from where they are street and go to stadium to be training. How many of them will be able to afford that? But anyway, let's take it one after the other. The first thing that we heard indeed was that the Abia state governor unveils ambitious plans for FIFA standard 35,000 capacity stadium. 35,000 capacity stadium, that's gigantic. But is it needed? There is a stadium in Aba, Ayimba Stadium, right? If you need to do one thing or the other. It's not that having a stadium there's nothing wrong with having a stadium. It's actually a good thing. But in everything that one does, you have to have preference. What is it that you need right now? Personally, for me, I think having a gigantic technological hub pays Abia State more than stadium. All the stadiums that we've had in Nigeria, what have we really used them for? Most times you see them, how many sports do we even play there? How many competition? Most times you see people using them for what? Birthdays, religious ceremonies, and different kinds of owambe that people want to celebrate. Is that what this whole money needs to be put on? I see some people who have had arguments and they've said that, they are going into partnership with Tianjin Yuyang Construction Engineering Company Limited, and that they are not paying now. They're going to build it and it's going to be paid over a long period of time throughout this is 10. I'm like, but it's still going to be paid. It doesn't make a white elephant project doesn't just become a good project because you're not paying the money immediately. You still have to pay the money. And by the way, this particular company, is the only stadium they build? Can they build something else? Can they even build, even if it's mass housing that people are going to get or something? But beyond the issue of mass housing, it's why let me tell you what I think about this technological hub. I always think about it. I don't know why I'm so fixated with Aba. I just feel Aba is our China, and that if we give Aba and Aba people the kind of support that they need in terms of cheap capital, in terms of 24/7 electricity, in terms of the technological hub, in terms of having the machines that they need for this thing, we'll be shocked when we come out of there. When I see people make fun of things, they say, oh, made in Aba, I always think of made in China. People made fun of made in China once upon a time. But guess what? The whole world goes to China today to go and get their things on. And that's the way I always look at Aba. So if you have a place, say, instead of this gigantic stadium, we have a gigantic building where it's technologically designed. There'll be like different kind of machines of different kind of manufacturing thing. Maybe people who manufacture shoes, there will be places, and then people can come and rent their place. There will be 24/7 electricity there. They will even have their own power generating set, so they are not dependent on whether they are NEPA or whatever it is that is called in Abia now, whether they take light, power holding company, whether they take light or they don't take light, whatever, it doesn't concern them. They have this generating set where they're having 24/7 electricity, and then people can come and hire little spaces instead of everybody buying their own generator. Little spaces where they can also do their business. If it's shoes they are making, if it's t-shirts they are making, if it's clothing they are making, in that way they are able to access cheaper electricity, cheaper the machines. Maybe someone that has not been able to buy a machine can be able to be using those ones and be able to produce things better quality at a cheaper rate. For me, that's more useful than the stadium. I might be wrong, but please let me know in the comment section. Let me know this. I never say I know everything, but I have a way I look at things, and I'm never afraid of voicing my thoughts out. If it's wrong, I learn. If it's right, I still learn from what people's reaction to that whole statement is all about. And so when this whole thing started and I started talking, I see a lot of people, some of them feel, oh, they need to defend the governor. I mean, Governor Otti has been doing amazing. Of all the governors we have in Nigeria, so far, he has been doing great. But that doesn't mean that when we see him do something that we don't think is a great thing, that we will not say it. We will say it. It's not about the person, it's about what you're doing. Give us good governance, we praise you. If you do something that it's not, that we say, hey, this might not be it. And people need to understand that there is demand and supply side of governance. We are the ones who vote. Our business is to make demands. The people who have voted for their business is to supply. So sometimes when the government comes out to say they want to do something, and then you're pointing out to say, people can point out and say, okay, this at this stage, maybe not this, can you do this? And they will check because, hey, who doesn't make mistake? We all make mistakes. We're all learning. Every day is an opportunity to learn. And we all learn. So people need to understand this in a way. Some of the things that people have said, let me look at some of the points that are here in terms of all this whole conversation. First of all, there's already a stadium in Aba. It's currently used for football matches by Eyimba International Stadium and all of that. It's the home ground of Eyimba. It is 16,000 people. It was renovated in 2018. That's what from the reports I've seen. Then this particular stadium they want to build is 35,000 capacity, and it says to elevate state sporting facilities to international standards, providing a venue for world-class sporting events and fostering the growth of sports in Abia State. If you ask me, building sporting facilities, not necessarily stadium, sporting facilities, maybe a place where you could have people can come together and play some football, basketball, tennis ball, different kind of this thing in different neighborhoods in Abia State. We foster the development of sports more than building one gigantic stadium somewhere. How many people are going to be able to go to those stadiums? We need situation whereby children will close from school after their homework. They can dash down to the sporting facility. Imagine if Abia State Governor, if Governor Otti wakes up and say, I want to have a sporting facility every 5 kilometers, or let's say every 10 kilometers, and build a playground, have the basketball hoops, have football, have different kind of sporting equipment or sporting arena where people can play. Imagine that would develop sports. Children will be able to pick certain things of interest and be able to get on them and do something. And these days, a lot of parents understand the power of sports and that it can actually be a career. So it's not like in those days where parents will beat their children so much because they were playing ball or they were doing sports. Now parents are understanding more and more the importance of sport. That will go a long way, right? Some of the things they also talk, they say attracting top tier sporting events, hub for nurturing local talent, promoting a culture of physical activity among. I don't think a stadium is what is going to do that, because how many people are going to go to the stadium anyways? That's all of these things. That stadium is not what is going to nurture this. Have smaller units of sporting facilities attached to different areas. Even if it's, let's start with one per each local government, it's still not it, and maybe you could do 2 or 3 or something where students can come together, neighborhoods can come together. They can have a place that they can play, they can do something. Some of them could be just playgrounds. Even if you don't have much, these are some of the things that we can do rather than this big, huge, gigantic a stadium that at the end of the day it's not going to give the kind of value that is attached to the monies that have been put to it. I went ahead to do some sort of research to see, okay, how do we, if we want to develop sports in a community, in a state, in a place, what are the things that need to be done. But before then, there was also some of the things they talked about in terms of what this whole stadium was going to do, as in that the project progresses, it will witness transformation of this vision into a tangible reality. Well, a landmark for Abia State. Abia State doesn't really need this landmark. Let's develop the people. The Abians, they have a lot of them. Let's develop them, and then they can go on. We can get to a place where we are building this. But right now, this is not the time. Some of the things, that's needed in terms of development of sports in a community or a place, education of coaches. These are some of the things that need to also be focused on. Let the government be, instead of just, you can't just build stadium and expect that, oh, that's going to make your sports to now be developed. No. Coaches, different coaches, can we begin to do that? Provision and improvement of sports facilities. I've spoken about that before, in different places, whether it's different local government, how many in a local government. Build all of this is where young people can easily have access to these sporting facilities, and for them to be able to, learn from the recruitment of participants, people that are going to participate in this. Let's encourage it. Let it be an in thing where children have a place to go and learn. Organizing of events, football matches. Imagine if estates are coming together and say, oh, they're doing football, schools by school, estate by estate, neighborhood by neighborhood, and all of that. They already do it in their own way, but let the government sort of like improve it, make it almost like a league. Everybody get in own league now. There are premier league, there are neighborhood leagues, and this way people begin to hone their talent, and before you know what's happening, you're bringing in all these scouts. They're checking, they're finding the ones that really have talent, and they're taking them on. Sports can be an avenue for young people to get scholarship into university or into other schools. Nurturing of volunteerism. There are people who will volunteer to either be referees, to be coaches. That's what is done in other countries. This will help a lot in nurturing the sports in this community. Development of self-funding programs, so that it's not always dependent on government. Athlete development programs. Forming partnership with other sports and organizations. I mean, these are things that could be done. Make it easy. Keep training fun. Who was this that I wrote? Okay, the estate trainings that I was talking about. There are so many ways that we can develop sports, please. And one thing I'll just finally say here, because I don't want this video to be too long, is that let's not think that because we voted for someone or we like that person, that we always have to defend that person or attack other people when they say certain things are wrong. No, it's for the benefit of every one of us. Those who are criticizing and say there's something that is not going well here, it doesn't mean that they hate the governor or the government or whatever. It simply means that they feel things can be better and they want it to be better. So please, let's continue to do this. For me, honestly, the stadium that Abia State is talking about is a white elephant project. We could do that. You could use that money for many other things. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you.